How's that not working? My bloody air vest isn't working. Got the old summer gloves on. Summerish gloves anyway. Bum 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 bum. Well, what a fantastic day. Sun's out, which always makes everyone feel miles better. But in all honesty, I feel great anyway. Where I am in my journey is progressing really nicely. I have all but finished the first 3 steps now, which is what this video is pretty much going to be about, really. But in general, yeah, I feel really good. I still going to 5 meetings a week and an evening session with my sponsor, learning a lot. The first 3 steps is a bit challenging, and the reason it's challenging is you've got to kind of accept a few things that perhaps when you first look at them you're a bit unsure of, because it references the word God, but as I've said before, that is a God of your understanding, and that's kind of a hard part, but I'll get to that in a second. So basically the first 3 steps are, step 1 is basically, I'm not going to quote it word for word, but it's basically admitting that your life is unmanageable and that you on your own are powerless and cannot basically stop drinking without any help, I guess is kind of the best way to put it. So obviously if you go into AA, you go into AA for a reason, aren't you? Which basically means you have kind of explored a number of avenues yourself, which is what I have done, and I just can't stop. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. I just couldn't stop. I just couldn't do it. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd say, I'm not drinking today. I'm not drinking today. Looking in the mirror and saying, I'm not drinking today. And 4 hours later, I'd be drinking. And that's not just a one-off, that's a lot of the time. So I just can't do it. You know what I mean? I might manage the odd day during the week, but then in my mind I'd be thinking the week after, oh, I had a week off last week, so you know what I mean, I can drink this week. So it's just all sorts of crazy stuff goes through your head. So step 1 is pretty easy to get your head around, really. There's a little exercise that your sponsor will probably ask you to do, which mine was 5 instances on 3 subjects. So basically, where you didn't want to drink and drank, where you wanted to stop drinking and didn't, and the third one was instances with consequences. So maybe, you know, you'd found in sick for work, that kind of stuff. So I mean, 5 of each was pretty easy. I could have done 50 of each, to be honest. And then and I'm admitting that I'm powerless. I just can't do this on my own. And then steps 2 and 3, well, they're kind of merged together, and it's a bit where people look at it and see the word God and think, nah, not for me. But basically it's about is understanding that you on your own can't do it. So you've already admitted that. So basically you need some help to get you through that. Now your help is your higher power. Now what that higher power is determined by yourself, and that was a bit of what I struggled with a little bit initially. Not when it came to it, but leading up to it, I just didn't know. So lots of people choose lots of things. I think the easiest option is, if you are in any way religious whatsoever, you're just going to go with your run-of-the-mill, everyday God, you know, the religious God. For me, I kind of have gone a little bit down that road, but I have not gone with God as the the guy in the white robe and long white hair and beard kind of God. I've just gone with God as a creator of all things, because it kind of makes sense to me. And this is my belief, so please, you've got to find your own belief, but this is just mine. So I believe we've all got to have come from somewhere. We haven't just grown out of the ground. Something's created us, and there's got to be something involved in that creation, and so that's easy for me, because it kind of encapsulates a lot of things. It encapsulates nature, ourselves, and yeah, so that was kind of what resonated with me. So that's what I've gone with. I'm not necessarily gone with the God, but I've gone with the creator. A lot of people do nature as a force, because you can see it, you can feel it, and a lot of people look within and choose love, because again, it's something that you can give to other people, it's something you can receive, it's kind of a touchable or feelable thing. But the one thing it cannot be another living human being, and it can't be yourself. So they're kind of the two stipulations, really. And apart from that, and some people struggle to find something. Some people use the rooms themselves. I thought initially it'd be the rooms for me, because I was getting so much from the rooms. I was getting a lot of energy from the rooms, and it was beautiful. But I think now I've been in the rooms getting on for 7 weeks now. That passion's not dying down, but I kind of feel that it's something else other than that for me. So that's what I've gone with. So choosing my higher power eventually came, and that was after a couple of sessions with my sponsor and discussing it, and getting a few of the feelings down. And then the step 3, the final thing, is handing yourself over to that higher power. And again, a lot of people struggle with that. And again, it's because what you got to remember is the book was written in 1936, but it was never written as a religious book. It has always been referenced as a spiritual book and a spiritual experience. So handing myself over to God, I was kind of again struggling with that, thinking, well, I've still got to make decisions, but I can pray for that, and I can talk that through, and I can almost have a chat with myself about it. I know it sounds mad, but it's all about like reflection and pausing on the situation that you're in. So, but I still was struggling, thinking, how has that happened? And then my sponsor said something to me, and it kind of just clicked, really. And that was that you can't affect what's already happened. So you can't affect yesterday. There's nothing you can do about it. It's done, and you can't really affect 100%. You can affect it a little bit, obviously, because you can make some decisions, but you can't really do anything about tomorrow. It's going to be what it's going to be. So the only thing you can affect is today. And that's where you can wake up in the morning, you can do your prayer, and you can ask for your higher power to guide you in making the correct decisions that you need to make to keep you sober for the next 24 hours. And that's all AA asks of you. All it asks is for you to focus on the 24 hours that you're in and stay sober. And at the end of the day, be grateful for that, and maybe do a prayer to continue that the next day. And once I kind of thought about that a bit, it felt easy to say, okay, I can do that. I can hand myself over in the morning. I can get up, I can say my prayer, which I've wrote, because that's part of your step 3, and I can hand myself over and say, I can't do this on my own. I've tried. I can't stay sober on my own. That's why I've gone to AA. That's why I'm doing the step program, because when I'm running the show, it's a mess. It's just not a show, because I try and be the director, the dress rehearsal guy, the makeup artist, whatever analogy you want to use. I try and run all the show, and I just can't do it. And when I do it, it's just unmanageable. And I've proven that because I can't stop drinking, and you hit rock bottoms. So once I kind of got my head around that, I felt it was easy then to hand myself over to my higher power and say in the morning, guide me, help me through the day. And then since then, when situations have happened, I have been able to pause, and I have been able to say, take a deep breath, think about it, don't overreact, try and think about what is going on in that situation. Don't get me wrong, I don't do that with everything, but I have massively adopted that philosophy in my everyday life, and it has made me so much calmer and so much more rational in my decision making. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfection, and no one's looking for perfection. The book doesn't even ask you for perfection. It clearly states that we're not saints, we're going to still make mistakes, but what it's asking is to adopt them principles as much as you can, and it's kind of working. Well, not kind of working, that's just a figure of speech. It is working for me a lot. I think I said in the last video that people are noticing that my attitude and behaviour is different. I'm definitely feeling it myself now, which is good, and I'm starting to love myself again, which is another massive thing that I never did. I hated myself, and I mean I hated myself. I couldn't stand looking at myself in the mirror. I couldn't stand hearing myself. I would get to, I get situations where I've lost it or whatever at work and stuff, and they're stewing on it all day, and I'd be like, what? And then just drink on it, because I'd be just like, do you know what, sod it. Whereas now, if I have that situation, and I have had one recently where I got annoyed, and I didn't fly off the handle as such, but when I got out of that situation, I walked away and I reflected on it, and I thought, you know what, I can't leave it there. So I actually went back and I apologised, but the person I apologised to apologised back to me, because we were kind of both not wrong, but we were both annoyed, really. But I didn't realise what happened just before with him, and he didn't really understand what I was saying, and we kind of were both at what's the word? We're cross whatever. So we were both coming from a different angle, basically, and not understanding what each other was on, and it just went. Yeah, and so what we did, we both said sorry, and it was just nice, and then I was able to move on with my day then, and it was dealt with. It wasn't festering away, and I wasn't then letting that affect me in my next decisions, or you know what I mean, or maybe someone might have pulled out on me that day, and I'd have gone because I'd have still been raging. So it's when you do things like that and you realise, yeah, my behaviour can change, and if I do deal with it in a different way, life is better. So that's where I am with my journey at the moment with AA. The meetings are still great. I'm really enjoying actively contributing now more by sharing, which is in turn opened up more people kind of being a bit more open with me, I guess, which is nice. And like I said before, people aren't frosty anyway, but it's just kind of before meetings and after, you kind of might have that little extra chat with someone that you don't normally do. So it's been really good, and I'm really, really positive going forward. The next bit is maybe not so easy is probably a word, because step 4, which is what I will be going into next week, so I'll probably have a bit more to say on that next week. That's where you will start jotting down your resentments and the things that are going wrong or have gone wrong that you want to put right and things. So yeah, although a lot of people again go, oh, step 4, oh no, I can't be doing my step, and like stall on that part, but I'm looking forward to it. It's not the right word at all, but I am not going to stall on it. I'm going to get to it, and I'm going to just do it. I'm just gonna do it. I've already kind of had a brief word with my sponsor about it, and he's going to give me 2 weeks to get that done, but I'll know more next week because I would have had that proper conversation. So I literally just got to finish off my step 3. I've got to just go through a few more bits and pieces with him in my next session, which will be this week, and then it'll be move on to my step 4. And I've also been having a few more conversations with the ex, which has been nice. That again, it's weirdly enough, that's kind of helped me, because actually saying stuff out loud to another person about what was going on in my head at certain situations, mainly regarding when we was together and stuff, was it's kind of then when you realise how insane things were in your mind. So that's actually that's kind of like been another little mini meeting with a therapist, but with my ex, which has been really nice. And she did say something which was good. Or we kind of both said it, I think, that it's pointless talking about what went wrong, because we both went wrong. So what she's been trying to understand was what caused me to go wrong, and that's been quite nice. So she's not been judgmental or anything. She's just been, I'm kind of blown away with some of it as well, thinking, well, I just didn't know that's what you were feeling, or obviously didn't know that's what you was thinking. Because I thought she was having an affair and all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, really. Another biker, didn't let on. Yeah, oh God, a bit bumpy there, wow. So it was not a pleasant time in my head at that moment in time, and then that just led to us drifting apart, and I think we both said that we were both as stubborn as each other at the time. Instead of like sitting down, like now I know, sitting down and talking about that stuff resolves it, or would have cleared the air a little bit. I might not have resolved it totally. We might still have ended up separating, but we'd have had a better understanding of each other. So again, yeah, I'm learning things. So yeah, all in all, great progression with my steps. Ooh, camping there. Fire, not really a good thing, is it? Yeah, so all in all, I'm really pleased. My sponsor's pleased with my progress on the steps. I'm pleased with my progress on the steps. I feel the benefit from that, and I wanted to do this video about the steps, and I am going to do videos on the steps, because when a lot of people do, and I did it, and a lot of people do say it, that when you go in the rooms for the first time and you see the 12 steps and 12 traditions up on the wall, it can be daunting because of the wording, and it can be, I could do that step, yeah, well, I'm not doing that, I'm not interested in God, yeah, I'm not fucking saying sorry to anyone. But you've got to break it down, and then as you start, it does make a bit more sense, trust me. And I'm basically saying that for anyone that hopefully watches this video and it helps them in any way to make that first step into a room, because if you are at a rock bottom, trust me, it can save your life. And I'm not being dramatic when I say that, I'm being deadly serious. It can save your life, and it can fix things that you don't think are fixable, and it has for me. I'm in a miles better place than I was. I was in such a dark place, drinking on my own, not talking to people, hiding it, lying. Yeah, and it's and that was only going to lead one way, if I'm honest. it was like end it or mend it, and I'm thankful and grateful that I chose mend it. So I don't really want to leave it on a morbid note, but that's kind of where I was, so it's the truth. But I'm happy now, I'm in a good place, and I'm positive for the future. So I am going to leave it at that statement. Positive for the future. I'll see you on the next one.